Hey y'all, to all my regulars. So I have a brief moment to chat with you. Nadine carved out some space for me, and I'm so grateful and I'm so honored to be able to just stand before you and share. She asked me to kind of touch on new trends in sex education, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to talk? So I tapped into my spirit, and the spirit said to me that you all are new trends in sex education. That your Kandi is a new trend in sex education because you are constantly and consistently setting the bar higher in the home party consulting industry. Simply because you have, first of all, phenomenal products, you have dynamic leadership, you have a wealth of resources that are available to you at any given time. You now have Dr. Rachel's awesome Sex Coaching Institute, which I encourage you all to, clap for that. Clap for it. You know why? Because a lot of consultant home party companies don't have that resource. So if it's available to you, take advantage of it. And like I say every year, I'm all about sex education. I'm all about professional development. I'm not an expert. Although I've been in this field for 30 years, I'm not an expert. I'm a student. I'm a student of sexuality. I'm a student of sexual health. I'm a student of healing. And just because you decide to participate in Dr. Rachel's program or anybody else's program, don't stop there. That's just one part of it. Like I say every year, continue your professional development. Make sure you are being the best consultant, source of information for first of all, for yourself, but I'm gonna come back to that. But for your party guests, you wanna make sure you're giving them the most accurate information, medically accurate information that you can. Because oftentimes, you are the very first person that someone will actually have a conversation with about sexuality. The very first one. And it may have taken them so much to come to your party. So make sure you're giving them the information that they need. Create that safe space. If you haven't had an opportunity, I encourage you to go back through your portal and look at some of the videos I talk about when I talk about creating that safe space. Because when you start to have conversations about sexuality, it can get real. And you have to be prepared for what may happen at your party. Because guess what? A lot of people are hurting. Right? And that may come out at your party. What are you going to do about it when somebody has a meltdown in your party? Are you prepared for that? So that's why I encourage you to make sure you get the right information. Now also, let me tell you this. I'm so proud of those of you who went through the sex coaching program, but also you gotta know your professional limitations. Don't go into a counseling and therapy session in your party if you don't have the skills to be able to do that. Because you can do more damage than you can good. You can actually create more layers of trauma than you can actually help the person. So when you get to a point and you reach your professional limitation, refer that person out to someone who has the ability to be able to help them dig deep. And I'm not saying that you don't, because some of you may have that ability. But if you don't, know your professional limitations. And encourage your folks to get counseling therapy. It's okay, it's very natural. Some of us have layers upon layers upon layers, and we need to unpack our stuff. Before we can even begin to talk about experiencing pleasure, yes, a lot of reasons women can't experience pleasure may be medical reasons. It may be hormonal. It may be chemical. But it can also be spiritual, like Dr. Nicole said. It can also be emotional. It can be mental. It can be biochemical. It can be energetical, because sex isn't energy. It's just transfer from one person to the other. So these are things that you need to think about and be aware of. So make sure you're getting the education that you need so that you can help your clients. So let me back on up, because I'm coming to you. Y'all know how I do. I'm coming to you. You need to unpack your ish too. You need to make sure that you're doing the the work too, because when you start to work with others about sexuality, your stuff gonna come up too. And you cannot authentically help somebody else if you're not helped yourself. So you need to do the work yourself too. What does that mean, Dr. TaMara? I did the work. You need to dig deeper. I'm not talking about that cute surface work on how to have an orgasm. I'm talking about that real, down, dirty, ugly, smack coming out your nose, crying your eyes red till you can't think no more work. And unpack your stuff. Because guess what? All of us have societal scripts. We have social scripts. We have familial scripts. We have cultural scripts that have been placed on us about sexuality and our beliefs about sexuality. And if we don't unpack our ish, that comes out in our parties. Because if you're not comfortable with certain sexual orientations, certain sexual identities, certain genders, certain gender roles, that's going to be a barrier to helping your guests. So you need to unpack your stuff. What are you bringing into your party? Because all of that's going to help you create a safe space, right? So you need to make sure that you're doing the work yourself. That's a trend, a new trend. Healing yourself first, walking in your authenticity, being true to who you are. And if you haven't done the work completely, you still need to leave your, ish outside the door before you come into your party. But yeah, so you need to leave your stuff outside the door. Your stuff doesn't have any business in your party because that's not your therapy session either. So, with that being said, I just want to encourage you to make sure you're getting all the resources that you need. You have Dr. Nicole, she said use her. Use her. You have Dr. Rachel's Institute. Enroll in it. Become a sex coach. And you also have me. I know many of you reach out to me all the time. I respond like ASAP because I'm always on Facebook. I'm always on my email. Ask me questions. I also have classes. But my classes look at sexuality from a different perspective. I teach you how to dig deep. I teach you how to heal yourself. My I Am Sex Masterclass, you carry the book in your line. We go really deep into that book. We go really deep into healing yourself. My FTAC Masterclass talks about how do you walk in your authenticity and own who you are. That's your birthright. Sexuality is your birthright. Healthy sexuality is your birthright. We were all created as sexual beings. We're going to be sexual beings until we die. How do you own that and walk in your authenticity and own your power? Do you know how powerful your sexuality is? And I'm not talking about pleasure. That's easy. We get that. Yeah. I'm talking about we are the givers of life. Do you understand the power and the value in that? Your womb is the place where all life and creation begins. If that's not healthy, how the hell can you bring forth healthy life? Come on! So that's what FTAC, Don't Shrink, will teach you. So, like I said, I only have a short time. I'm going to respect your time. I'm here. Always. Always. I love y'all to death. That's why I keep coming back year after year. Because I love y'all. And I've been doing this for 30 years. Knew since I was 13. This is my gift. I tried to get away from it throughout my years, but it kept calling me back because this is why God created me. To talk about healthy sexuality, to transcend people's minds in terms of what they think sexuality is. And I honor that, and I hold space for that, and I take that very seriously. How dare I not? I save lives. You save lives too. And so I encourage you to continue to seek that professional development that you need. Do the work that you need to do for yourself. Ask those questions. Know your professional limitations. Don't hurt nobody. Because people are clinging on your every word. When they know that you're a sex coach, a bedroom candy consultant, when they know that you sell sex toys, they are coming to you for answers. A lot of times they're presenting with a sexual issue. It may be ED, erectile dysfunction. It may be anorgasmia. She can't have an orgasm. It may be lack of intimacy in the bedroom. It may be low desire. Whatever it may be, but guess what? it's always something deeper. Because 90% of the women who come to my sex therapy, come to me for sex therapy, it's always, I can't come. No, but what's the real deal? That's surface. Let's dig deep. You gotta own your authenticity, own your sexuality, celebrate it, and embrace it. That's all I got.